Friday. Y'all, I have been so excited about tonight's show. Baby, share the live right now. I'm telling you. I'm going to just get right into it, okay, Dame Seamus? Because listen, I've been so excited about this conversation with this brother here tonight on this screen. Y'all remember him. This is Mr. Robot, okay? Mr. Robot. Let me just tell y'all a little bit about him. He hails from Washington, D.C., okay? He served in the military. He is a realtor man, okay? Real estate investments, all right? Listen, it's about generational wealth, okay? Changing the narrative. Yo, OMG. Listen, one fun fact about him is that he does not like guacamole. Imagine that. He don't like guacamole. Oh my goodness. So listen, y'all. Mr. Robot, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Well, look, tonight's concoction, KiKi's concoction is none other than no labels. Where you going? Where you going? You got yours? You got all right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for having me again. I'm back like I left something.
Like you left something. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So listen, before we really get into everything, let's talk a little bit about what is going on in the culture, okay? We had a lot. It's been a rough week. It really has. But you know what? Wait a minute. We're not even going to skip over all the ambiance back here. You know, tell the damn Seamus what we got working back here. You know, you're giving me all this sex appeal. I said, shit, let me start clothes off. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm in Aruba, no shirts in Aruba. So, hey, let's do it. Let's do it.
Fuck it, why not, okay? That's the way you do a Damn Shame podcast show. Live from Aruba, okay?
Live from Aruba, yes.
I absolutely love it. I am here for all of that, Mr. Robot.
Yes.
Ow, shit.
You like what you see, KiKi?
Oh, shit. Let me tell you, you're going to have to make me reevaluate some shit. As I said, tonight's concoction is none other than no labels, because that's what we're calling this episode, no labels, all right? Chocolate right there. We ain't going to spend too much time because, baby, and then I hear that it's more like him sitting back there in the background, so hopefully enjoying the discussion, okay? Shirts off, okay?
Shirts off. Shirts off.
Shirts off, all right? But listen, how about Shock G? Humpty Hump. I said, dead at 57. What is going on, y'all? Listen, I know for me, it was get up and walk. Get up, exercise, get up and move, okay? I'm not trying to be gone at 57. That's just not it. I'm not. I got so much life to live, okay? And I hope y'all join me in that movement as well.
Me and my friends have made it a point to get up and just be physical every morning, even though we're on vacation. So
that's it.
Absolutely.
That's it. And I know this about you because I've seen it on your social media that you meditate, and that's so important.
It is. It's been very helpful. It's been extremely helpful. It's just been an opportunity just to be by yourself with your own thoughts or not thinking about anything. I encourage everybody to try it out.
Yes. So listen, tonight's discussion, we're going in part 2, all right? During the last chat, we talked about, you know, the low on the down low, right? You living as a openly gay Black man and all of the things that go along with that. And we got into some discussions just about DL men and, the plight that they experience as well. But I just want to dig a little deeper into that. And, we'll recap some, through the questions as we go through tonight, because you dropped a lot of gems. And for those that missed part one, make sure that you go back and catch the replay on YouTube. It was very informative. I mean, and you educated the damn shame community, and that is the goal. You talk about awareness and to, help people to live their best authentic life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so again, tonight's discussion, no labels, right? Because one big thing that you said is that, yeah, I'm an openly gay man, but I don't get hung up on all of those titles and labels and stuff like that. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I think, in my opinion, labels are for other people. They're not necessarily about me. They don't change who I am. They don't change, my background. It's really about how other people identify me. And that's not something that I am necessarily willing to allow. The fact of the matter is, you want to call me a certain thing. I call myself a man that loves and likes what I like, when I like it. That's it.
There has to be this level of freedom that you have living this way. I'm free, I'm open. Talk more about that.
Well, not only is it a freedom, I think it's also my right to be able to identify the way that I want to identify. We talked about this before. Labels are really inviting people into my bedroom. And I choose, until I invite you into my bedroom, you don't get to know all the ins and outs about my sexual proclivities. You just don't get to do that. So it's really important for me to make sure that I convey myself, number one, as a Black man in America. I have the same struggles as any other Black man in America. And what I do behind closed doors is truly my business.
Absolutely.
But it's my business.
So, and I respect that wholeheartedly, because that's essentially what we all do. What we do behind our closed doors is how we live, right? What would you say about your experience, when you've dealt with a man who has been on the down low? Like, because you talk about inviting who you want in your bedroom and this, that, and the other, but you have someone that chooses to live secretly that he likes men or takes an interest in men.
To a certain degree, I'm sensitive to that because I understand what a Black man in America has to go through. Your mom is telling you that you're going to get AIDS. Your father's telling you that you're not a man. Your grandmother's telling you that you're going to hell. And your grandfather's telling you that you're going to spread your gayness amongst the rest of the family. Mm-hmm. So that is a challenge in itself, just to be able to explore your sexuality however you want to explore it. But you have your family that's essentially just not supportive, not understanding, and not sensitive to the fact that this isn't really something that you choose. And Black men, unfortunately, are just not afforded the opportunity to explore their sexuality the way that women are. For whatever reason, I really haven't really kind of gotten an understanding of why that is, why there's such a fine line between how women explore their sexuality and how men explore their sexuality. So it's challenging, mm-hmm. But I think that it's important for men to understand that, thankfully, things are changing. I think things are getting a little bit more, there's a lot more understanding. What's happening here? I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah, definitely a lot more understanding in today's time. But okay, so you meet a man, and then what, you have the discussion of, you out, or, how does that go? Like, and then when you find out that they're not out, then what is the next layer to that discussion?
It's a really interesting question. You know, over the last few years, I think as I've become more comfortable with my sexuality, I don't think that I don't think that it's been necessarily difficult to meet guys that are also open with their sexuality and willing to explore their sexuality on a broader scale. I also think that while I don't think that the DL lifestyle is going anywhere anytime soon, I also think that it's there's going to be more opportunity for men to just be themselves and explore their sexuality. And I think that there's a lot more understanding than there was maybe like 10 years ago. You know, HIV and AIDS was always the biggest issue with DL men. Yeah. And I think that now that we, medically we have treatments and stuff for HIV and AIDS, and there's a lot more awareness of it and a lot more awareness of how to protect yourself. Men are becoming more comfortable exploring their sexuality and just being honest about it. Mm-hmm. Not saying so that you mean a man, but
I get it. You talked about the family dynamics and your masculinity being challenged. How do you overcome
that? Very easily. In my case, I really didn't care. I've been out on my own since I was 21 years old, paying my bills. And when I was paying my rent, I was paying it. When nobody else paying it. So I didn't really, not only did I not solicit anybody's opinion about what I did as an adult, I really didn't care. And I realized that every man does not have that same level of confidence when it comes to their sexuality. And there are going to be opinions that are really going to matter. Mom and dad matter to people. I get it. And their opinion and how they perceive their sexuality, it matters. For me, I was lucky. I not lucky, but it really didn't matter to me because I knew that I was a success in my own right. And my sexuality was just secondary. It wasn't anything. It didn't take away the achievements that I had in life, and the fact that I was in the Marine Corps and all the other things that came that I achieved throughout life. So none of that had anything to do with my sexuality. I didn't have to check a box when I applied for my real estate license saying that I liked men.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it didn't. I learned as I got older that it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make my bills any less. It's not going to make my bills any higher. It's not going to afford me any other opportunity to explain that I sleep with men.
Yeah. So do you, how do you handle people who are homophobic? How do you handle that? How do you, like if you're in at a lounge, or at an intimate party, and they're both straight and gay, heterosexual and homosexual people there. How do you handle, like, it's especially, like a straight man who may not necessarily be comfortable being around, like, how do you broach that kind of thing?
It's never, for me, I was discussing this specific question with my friends. For me, over the years, it really hasn't been a problem for me because, quite frankly, I got these hands. So you're not going to disrespect me, and period, point blank. I don't care what your issue is with me. But from a closer circle perspective, I have had friends where I have had to explain certain things to them. I've explained to them that certain jokes are inappropriate. I've explained to them using certain words are inappropriate. And I think that it starts with having those conversations with the people that are closest to you. And honestly, I have a specific heterosexual friend of mine that I can actually think about who I sat down and I had that conversation with. And he was considerate enough of our friendship, and he was considerate enough of me to share that amongst other people. And those conversations really just, I can't worry about the people at the lounge, at the hookah spot or the bar. I can't really worry about them. You know, they're gonna think what they want to think. Let them think it. As long as you stay over there and you don't disrespect me, won't be no problems.
Yeah.
But if it needs to go there, it'll go there.
Right.
But that's not really my concern. My concern are the people that are in my circle. And I can have a conversation like, listen, bro, that's disrespectful. Don't do that. And we can kind of expand on those kinds of conversation and those topics. And it's really just about education. You know, I truly believe, one of the things that I truly believe, I don't like to write people off. So I think that we all have the opportunity to share information and express ourselves and let people know, hey, you know, this is who I am.
Okay, so somebody in your close circle, like you said, this incident with this guy,
Yes.
was it that you saw that he was kind of distant from you, like didn't want to, you know, maybe be, you know, seen out with you, like, hey, you know, let's go out and have drinks, or let's go to the basketball court, and you know, let's do something? Was he like, nah, nigga, like,
It was more about the issue with this particular friend. It was more about the jokes. It's more about the jokes. It was more about the jokes and things just not being.
Motherfuckers say a lot through a joke now.
Yeah. You think that's really just kind of just a lighthearted little thing to say and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm never the kind of person that wants to embarrass anybody. So I was close enough to this particular person where I could pull him to the side and say, listen, it's not cool. You know, that was an offensive comment that you made. And I would really appreciate it if you didn't do that anymore. And he you know, over the years, I've known this guy now for going on 11 years. And I'll say that he was very receptive to, he's still a work in progress. Lord knows the guy's a work in progress.
Yeah, listen, it's learned behavior. Because let me tell you, I know that I've said some shit. And, you know, I should have started this show saying, I'm coming from a place of trying to disrespect or, you know, and educate me. Because I know I say some shit and I just be like, you know, I've learned that F word ain't what you supposed to say now. Like, but back in the day when I was growing, I'm 46. I mean, that was a good thing if you were, you know, like, oh shit, he had it together. He was this, he's that. Oh, he, you know, came with it. You always saw him with the latest and the finest and the this and the that, you know, and it was a good thing. And then that good thing has turned into a negative. I guess it's like nigga versus the hard R. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then, you know, even with the women, like lesbians and the queers and when to use them, how to say it and all of that. And all I say is, look, just charge it to the fact that I'm ignorant in that area. I don't know. But
I'm okay with that. I'm okay. First of all, let me go back to, first of all, you look amazing for 46. Let me just say that.
Ow.
Okay, first of all. It really is. I mean, I think that, listen, you don't have to have a symposium about what words to use and what words not to use and all this other kind of stuff. It really can just start with having that one conversation with that one person and letting it go from there. You know, we're not going to change the world overnight, unfortunately, and they're going to be ignorant. People are going to think ignorantly, just based on the way that they were brought up and what they've seen that's okay, and things that they have been allowed to do for so long. But it's really about just having that one conversation with that one person. And I think it makes all the difference. I really do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I also want to make sure that I put this out there. I mean, gays and homosexuals are not what they used to be. They're a lot more confident these days, and they will give you the business.
Okay.
You know, they will.
And see, you said gays and homosexuals, I guess.
Well, whatever they are called to somebody that is not that, right?
Educate me.
Right. Right. Whatever, same gender loving or whatever they want to be called, whatever they choose to identify with. they're not the same.
I do agree. I do agree. And there is this level of confidence that they're gaining, that you all are gaining daily because it's acceptable. The laws have changed around it. We have things that support you all now. And so I'm here for it. I love it. I think that y'all should be able to get married and have whatever the hell you want to have and do everything that you want to do, the same as a heterosexual couple, And I'm gonna tell you this: I have someone in my family who is, a couple of people in my family who are transgender, right? And it's always this thing of what the fuck we call them, like, it used to be a him, and now it's a she, and now, I just learned that I'm supposed to ask what are your pronouns and shit like that, like, putting it on their resumes and stuff like that. So, I'll say, like, my mother and their generation, the ones that are older, I really begin to like have these conversations, like, nah, ma, you can't, and she's like, well, I just don't know what to say. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Just call them by their new name or whatever it is, and I think society is really shining the light. You see it on soap operas now. You see it on, daytime TV versus in the movies and all of that kind of stuff. So because the more and more we educate people, I think that it'll be better for all on both sides. But
just be willing to listen. Just be willing to listen to your family members. Listen to what it is that they, ask them what they want to be called. What do they want to be called? But it's really just about listening. Like, it's not really about you sharing your opinion about them and their lifestyle down there. But it's really about you listening and listen to their struggle and just trying to empathize with them. I mean, one thing that I don't think that we have enough of just across the board is empathy.
So let's take it up a notch. Tell me about the time that you have outed a motherfucker. No, that nigga is gay. No.
I don't do that. That ain't my business to do. That ain't my business at all. That's not my business to do. I don't subscribe to that. I don't like it when people do that. I've had friends that have shared experiences with people that I may not have known are gay, but that ain't my business to do that. I don't believe in that at all. I think that is absolutely whack, and I think it's not a good idea.
When you encounter somebody who has done it, y'all out there, y'all in Aruba, and another group of outsiders will come in. Y'all might see some action, and hey, come on, sit poolside. Let's KiKi it up a little bit, right? And they're like, nah, and they do that, and you see somebody, like, what are you saying to that? Are you correcting them? What are you saying? Like,
I'm not correcting it. I mean, if I just, like, we had a group of people today that just came and kind of sat with us, and I don't know if we knew, like, right off the bat. Well, we kind of knew that they were, but we kind of knew. But I mean, I don't know. I don't
you hate that question of helping us, decide. I think I have a pretty good gaydar, so I don't even need any help. Like, I don't need no help. But for the damn shamers that might, it is a certain mannerism, that I look for. And then, like, one thing that I always look for when we ain't going down it, because I don't want you to answer because you said you don't do that kind of shit, and I want to respect that. But I look for, are you looking, nigga, are you looking at another woman, ass and titties and all that as she walked by? Like, are you looking? Because I need you to look at all these women around. Look at me and look at them. Because if you ain't looking at them and you don't take a second look or cut your eye, bitch, what you looking at?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna probably hate myself for saying this, but I'm gonna tell you this. It's a whole lot of dudes out here faking, looking at asses and titties, and that's not. I mean, that's, and I mean, to be honest with you, they may like asses and titties. I like ass and titties.
You like ass and titties, ow, ow.
Titties, you know, titties look good. Ass look good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, KiKi, if you would have walked up to me in the bar, I would, listen, looking the way you look, let me tell you, hey, I'm down for
Hey,
whatever.
Mr. Sexual, chocolate fine ass, Mr.
Man,
Robot.
you know,
Shit.
it might go down. But you know what I mean? That shouldn't necessarily dictate their
Yeah.
entire sexual spectrum. You know what I mean? Like that should, just because they looking at ass and titties don't necessarily mean that they don't have an interest later on Thursday or Friday for a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you know,
So
that's,
let's talk about the sexual responsibility in all of this.
please talk about that. Let's talk about
There's
that.
a level of sexual responsibility that we need to have on both sides.
Absolutely.
Educate us.
Well, first of all, protect yourself, protect yourself, protect yourself. And as I discussed the last time, I don't know why there are not more women that don't know about PrEP, Truvada, and Descovy. I just don't know why these conversations are happening. The majority of, when I first told the majority of my female friends about it, they had never heard of it. You know what I mean? They had never heard of it. And I just want to make sure that you all make sure that women understand that HIV and AIDS, gay men are not the only vessel that exists in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are men out here that have never slept with a man
Mm-hmm.
that are HIV positive.
Yeah.
So you should be protecting yourself all the time. So the sexual responsibility starts with you.
Yeah.
I'm not playing those games. If I'm hooking up with somebody, I need to see results. Are you on PrEP? Are you not on PrEP? When was the last time you tested? If you haven't been tested within the last 3 to 6 months, might have to pause on this one right here, or I might have to put something on, or something. But sexual responsibility starts with yourself. And again, Black women make up the largest percentage of new HIV and AIDS cases amongst women in the United States. So
Yeah.
I really need women to know that.
But I think that's a damn shame. Yes, there's some level of accountability. We need to take the PrEP. We need to protect ourselves. The onus is on us. We are adults. We're consenting adults and all of that. But we have these instances where men want to live these double lives and do these things, and it brings about that thing, that element into it. And there's another layer that we got to be worried about.
That is. Well, there's another thing that you can do. PrEP is one thing, but there's also post-exposure prophylactic, where you can take a medication after you have had an instance of unprotected sex to keep you from becoming HIV positive. A lot of women don't know about that as well. So those slip-ups happen. Sometimes you hit the bottle a little too much one night. I didn't put no protection on, and it was good to you, and all this other kind of stuff. You wake up the next day like, fuck. I don't even know this dude, and I'm having unprotected sex with him. Like, what do I do? What do I do? Within a short window of time, you can actually go to your doctor and ask for, there's PrEP, PrEP, and there's PEP. You can also take that as well, and that will keep you from becoming HIV positive. So,
Wow.
But I think the question that you're asking me is whether or not there's a responsibility for someone to share with you that they are HIV positive. I think that is the right thing to do. Absolutely.
Definitely HIV positive, but living a lifestyle where you like both sexes. You like men, you like women. It's same with a woman. We gotta be open and comfortable enough to ask those questions and answer them honestly.
I find it hard to believe that someone, gay or straight, is going to run down their entire sexual history with you in the first 5 or 10 minutes of meeting you. It's very unlikely.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly, I know I'm gonna get some people are not gonna like this.
That's okay.
I don't know if I think that it's entirely necessary for a man to explain to somebody that they have been with another man. I just don't. It's not, I don't think that it's women don't do that. Women do not do that. Women do not
When you say don't do that, you're saying they don't share their incidents of being with another woman, a woman.
No, they do not. No, absolutely.
It's unacceptable. That's a man's dream.
Absolutely. It's a man's dream, but I think that it's one of those things that if it comes up in conversation and the guy's down for which guys normally are, I mean, they'll go for it. But that's my point. Like, why are women allowed to have these sexual experiences with other women, but men are not? Why does a man have to carry the title of gay because he has one time with another man? Like, why? Why is that something that he is now that has to divulge to everybody, every woman that he's with? He might have done it and not liked it. He might have.
So then you're not openly gay. Or you're saying if he did it and maybe it was just, maybe less than 5 times, but he tried it, it was just okay. Then he went and tried it again, and it was just okay. But then, he just decided that wasn't for him. You're saying he shouldn't have to say, oh, I'm into men and women.
I don't think that. Well, I don't necessarily. Well, he might not be necessarily into men. I mean, you might try tofu one time and never like it. Does that mean you like tofu? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why. You said tag you in? Okay.
Come on.
Tag.
Bring it. Come on. I need this.
She said tag.
Seamus need this. What's your anonymous name?
What's your anonymous name?
What's your alias?
Lemonade.
Ooh.
On this side,
Lemonade. Yes.
So this is Lemonade.
Oh shit! Y'all doing it real major, big. Y'all the big.
Hello.
Ooh.
Get into my friend with this little grape.
Lemonade. Yeah. Yes, that's that. Listen, that's that grown man shit right there. Ow. What's up, Lemonade? You enjoying Aruba?
I am. I'm having a good time. How are you?
Oh, she
does.
She looks good, don't she?
Oh, thank you. So chime in. Come on.
I just wanted to understand what y'all was just saying.
We were saying that the responsibility of a man to have to explain the fact that he has been with other men to women. What do you feel about that?
And Mr. Robot has said that it could be limited. He felt like, I wanted to try tofu and I ain't like the shit. So, I wanted to try dick and I didn't, it was just okay. I might hit it 3 times and then I decide that I don't like it.
So I guess my question is, let me throw it back at you. Like, what if about you? What if a man said that to you? Like, oh, I had an experience with a man, how would that go with you?
I would say, because I'm a communicator, hence the show. Thank you for telling me. And I respect the fact that you told me, but I have the free will to choose who the fuck I want to sleep with when I want to, and I don't want to. And, but I appreciate your honesty. I got another couple of girlfriends that look much better than me, that's down for the shit. I can hook you up, but it's just not.
Why is that a deal breaker? Like, and I'm saying, I don't know your experiences as far as like sexuality and everything, but like he said, with women that are comfortable having experiences or experimenting with women, it's not a big deal because don't get me wrong, a lot of heterosexual men are okay with that, and that's fine. But if a man has a sexual experiment with a man, all of a sudden it's like, shit, blow up or whatever, and he tells somebody or he tells a woman that he's with, and then like you make the decision, oh, I'm not dealing with that. Why not? Like,
but don't I have that option as
the option? But like, what is it that makes you want to say no? That's what I want to know.
What's the concern about it?
We all because I can't compete with another dick, and you might want to get the urge to go back over there, and I don't have that to give.
That's when the communication comes into play, sis.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess the other thing is what makes a woman think that she can compete with another woman. I mean, like, we all know that there's gonna be pussy out there that's gonna be wetter, nicer, deeper, tighter. titties gonna be bigger, ass gonna be fatter. You know,
Right.
like, what makes a woman think that she can compete with another woman?
I get what y'all saying. I totally get it and support it. It's just that that isn't for me. And maybe because I am a little set in my ways and I just know what I like. I know that I don't fucking like peanut butter. So don't put peanut butter on my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Don't do that. I don't fucking like it. So if I don't like, to be with the man, I just have that right to choose it and decide, like I don't like lemonade looking men. I like them, very dark chocolate, so we all have a preference. But if he, get my attention in other ways, because it isn't always about the looks and all of that, but we have our preferences. Everybody does. Y'all have y'all preference on what you like and what you don't like. But I get what you're saying, that shouldn't be the end all be all when you hear that a man has had that that he's experimented, as you all say.
So let me ask you this: so you answering that way, what if one of your girlfriends came to you, your best girlfriend came and said, hey, I met this man, he found a shit, da 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 da. He had an experiment with a man, da da da. Would you be the girl because of your answer and the way you feel? Would you be like, don't do that?
You shouldn't.
Right. How would that, would you give her that feedback?
My favorite line is, you're a better woman than me. You're a bigger woman than me. You're a better woman
that
than
alone
me.
already says something. And so you're already giving your X to that.
And
don't do that.
Let me actually deliver you probably some really difficult news to hear.
Yeah.
But if you've been with more than 10 guys in your entire life, if you've been with more than 10 guys, one of them have been with another man at some point. Yeah. Then they got some head and substance, or even further than that.
Yeah.
This is my own.
You know what? I believe that. I believe that statistic, and it might even be a little higher.
Might be a little higher.
And so what I don't know is what I don't know. But on the contrary, how about this? Because I often think I messed with some hustlers back in the day and they done did some time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nigga, you just did 10, 15, 20 years. And you done went without sex. It just, I find it hard to fucking believe, unless you fucking the correctional officers or something like that. Y'all put y'all babies in bed. This is adult talk right now. But it is just that, I just kind of find it hard to believe, how can a man who is straight go without having sex for that long period of time? And so you done had some encounter, and ain't masturbation, all that. Yeah, that's cute. But, I love penetration.
But I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out, I guess I'm just trying to understand from a heterosexual woman's perspective, what makes you think that men are not allowed to explore their sexuality on that level? Why is it that men are not allowed to? What's the reason that
it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. And you're right. Men have this, especially Black gay men or, straight men that have experimented. They have this negative stigma when it comes to that, especially if they're trying to grow something. But I have friends who are sexually fluid. They down for whatever. And maybe I'll get there, but I just often think about, I don't like dealing with too much, dealing with a guy who has had a white woman or, had a serious relationship with a white woman. Because I'm like, nah, you can go to back to Becky anytime, and I can't compete with that white bitch. You know what I mean? And so that's just my hangups.
Hey, can producer lady chime in?
Come on, producer lady. I was wondering if you was going, keep me hanging.
Pass me my champagne, please. It's getting good now.
The biggest problem is, people not being honest, right? We keep going back to communication, right? So I think a big fear for heterosexual women that have to contemplate the idea of maybe a man has experimented with another man is that that man may not be truthful about how he felt about it, how he may want to try it again, because there's a level of, I gotta hide that. I gotta hide that. So on one side, we keep talking about women being okay with men that may want to explore it or experiment with it. But then the flip side of it is that man experiments with it and doesn't want to share, that he might want to do it again. So that it's a lack of trust on both sides. It's a lack of trust on both sides, and I think until we can have a level of honesty, I did it and I don't want to do it again, or I did it and I might want to do it again. We're just not there yet as a people. We're just not there on the level of communication, honest communication on both ends.
I think that goes back to the level of commitment to the relationship, just in general. I mean, there's men. Somebody can meet you, and y'all fall in love, and before they met you, they could have been fucking women left and right, the revolving door, 1 a.m, 1 p.m. You know what I mean? Are you going to hold them to the same level of responsibility in terms of, hey, you may want to go out and be a player again. You may want to go out and pick up 2 chicks from the club and take them home. Like, how does that play into the level of commitment that you have to our relationship? And I think that's what the conversation needs to be, because if a man's going to cheat, he's going to cheat with a woman, he's going to cheat with a man. I mean, he's going to cheat. I mean, cheating is cheating, So I think that the conversation needs to not be less about whether or not you're sleeping with him. I mean, are you going to be more accepting to the fact that he slept around with you with a woman? He could bring something home from you from the woman.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's all a damn shame. It is. And like Producer Lady said, we just have to restore the trust. There's
absolutely.
communication, but definitely restoring the trust, and that's hard.
Yeah,
I think, but we also have to get back to the fact of why some are not willing to accept if a man comes to the situation or relationship with this experience.
I was talking to KiKi about it the last time. I told KiKi last time, I said, if she met somebody and he checks all the boxes, remember?
Yeah.
6'4".
Are we going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? And I said,
meet to the floor.
Yeah.
Treats you good, takes you to dinner, takes care of you. And you said you don't like morning texts. But anyway, he checks on you regularly. But the only thing is,
he had an
experience when he was in the military, or he had an experience in college, or he had an experience on a business trip 6 years ago, and he was honest with you about it.
Yeah.
It's all, but I think it's also another thing that Black men put on ourselves when it comes to toxic masculinity, and we talk like that's something within our own demographic that we have to deal with too, and I think that's one thing. But that also gets pushed back to them.
It's what we've been taught.
Yeah,
we've been taught. We're supposed to be the provider. We're supposed to be masculine. We're supposed to do this.
And then Black women expect that from Black men. And so if he comes to the table with this experience, or this is just me, I'm sexually fluid, but I'm all about you. I like you, XYZ, and this is what it is. If I happen to see somebody attractive and I tell you about it, like y'all can have that kind of communication. That's what it really, really only boils down to communication. What is your communication style? If you can't talk about
the level of commitment,
and the level of honesty, and if you can't have those conversations with somebody, everything is going to fail. Everything is going to fail.
Everything's going to fail. I mean, the foundation of the relationship is weak from the beginning.
Yeah.
It allows anything. It allows the opportunity for really anything to happen. He could drain your bank account. He could anything. He could do anything. I mean, it's him sleeping with another man. The least of your worries.
You ain't never lie. Listen.
I mean, being honest. You know what I mean?
Like, there's a lot of fucked up niggas that think they good.
Absolutely, because of what they've been taught. There are a lot. In my opinion, if I were giving advice to my homegirl, okay, I'm going to tell her, let me tell you something. There's so many other shitty things out here that a dude can do to you That's the least of your worries. Take him to the clinic, make sure he's negative, make sure you know his sexual history, and go from there. I mean, I have women that had way worse experiences than somebody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's why we need these kinds of conversations so that we can educate. That's it. Because listen, I done sat around with my girlfriends talking about, oh, this nigga did this and he, shouldn't have did that, and why can't he just act right and all that? But you're right, there is a lot of other worse things that we can worry about besides that. And just
hell of a
owning-
lot.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Him having a baby. I mean, he can have all these. Like, there's so many things that are so more accepting that's really just. I just don't understand it. I just women
experiences.
Yeah, women accept so many other things. I mean, the guy out here having this nigga got 7 babies with 8 different baby mamas. Well, I don't know, 6 different baby mamas. My math was wrong, but he can have all of these babies, and women are just like, okay, well, he good. He take care of all his kids. I mean,
he sucked a dick one time.
Yeah, but if he sucked a dick one time, without head one time.
It's so true, and that's a damn shame, right?
Well, you saying it's a damn shame, but you be like,
I'm not like, but I broached it well. I said this, the preference that I have, and I could possibly hook you up with, and maybe just maybe, if I get that person that Mr. Robot had laid out for me, and I would have to now, after hearing this conversation, really think about it.
It could be worse, KiKi. I promise.
It definitely could be.
I'll say this as you. I don't know your age, but
she's 46.
Okay, great. You look amazing.
Thank
and
you.
So you're at the point now where if somebody comes to you, if a gentleman comes to you and says X, Y, Z, if he's about you, he's gonna be about you. I'm at the age now where my communication is. I'll be 41 this year. Okay. My communication is way different than what it was when I was in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And I'm honest, I'm open, I'm gonna say what it is. Even when I've been my partner for almost 19 years.
Oh, and wow.
One of the things is we have those open conversations. Like, we talk about everything. I'm open and honest. You will never have to guess what I'm thinking to you. Mm-hmm. But that comes over time. So when but that also, we're also at an age where we're better communicators now in our age. Mm-hmm. If a gentleman's coming to you in his whatever age he is now, if he's in his 40s or whatever, he should be coming to you with like, this is what I'm offering, this is what I'm about. We're at ages now where we understand who we are. I'm hoping. Yeah.
I would hope so.
I would hope so at this age. If somebody's coming to you and say, hey, this is my experience, but I'm about you. But at the same time, if shit changes, if I feel like something different, or if I want to introduce something to you, let's have that conversation. And you will always have the right to make a decision at that point. Always. But it's about having those kind of conversations and communication being open.
So very necessary. So listen, help me out here. Would you say, so Mr. Lemonade, you have been with your partner for 19 years. Are you into women as well?
I do whatever feels good.
Okay, hey, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, okay?
That's what I'm talking about. Labels are for soup cans.
Labels are for, yes!
Labels are for soup cans.
I'm here for labels are for soup cans. What would y'all say? Because I know what Mr. Robot likes. And so what would y'all say better? An orgasm with a woman? Ooh. Orgasm from a man?
Oh, this conversation went last.
Who can do it better?
So,
depending on what I'm doing.
It's
all depending on what you're doing.
So, I have had some really explosive experiences with women. I'm not gonna lie. Don't think women can give head yet, though. I'll be honest with you.
You said that last time.
Yeah, no. But
what are we doing wrong? All right, finish asking questions. I need to know what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Open your throat.
Oh. Ain't enough spit. You where the spit at?
Throat, baby.
I like spit. I like all the spit. All the spit. But ain't enough spit. And well, see, and so here's the thing, because I've had homegirls that have told me that women actually eat her pussy better than men do.
I mean, yeah, I've heard that as well.
So yeah. I mean, I guess it's really just about, you know, same sex. We really just know where to focus at and what to do and what makes you feel good and all that kind of stuff. But she's not.
So what?
No.
No. Although I find women very attractive, I've never thought.
Everybody thinks women
penetration. I love the penis. I love everything about it. I love the curve. I love the color. I love the smell. I love everything.
Careful with the smell.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we going to that. Because we got to educate the people who missed part one. But listen, so I'm hearing it depends on what you do. So a woman, orgasm with a woman is better when what? She's doing what? Throwing that ass in a circle, what?
So, I mean, I really enjoy just taking on the more. I enjoy with women. You don't have to really establish who's going to be the more dominant, who's going to be the most submissive and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I mean, women are getting really aggressive with pussy these days. I ain't gonna lie, and I like that. Like I really like it. Take it. Fuck me like this. Right. Like I'm okay with that. Like I'm like, all right, come on, let's do it. But I think that it's already unspoken what roles are going to be established in the woman-man situation. So I think that it kind of pushes your.
That sounds so nice.
Really? Well, I think it kind of puts your mind at ease about what's going to happen. And I just think that there's a level of comfort when it comes to having sex with a woman that you just don't, you know, that you don't really, sometimes you get in the bedroom when a guy's like, you know, what we going to do? Who doing what and this? And sometimes it's like, oh no, don't flip me over because you are not getting back there. It's not happening. If I don't even see you like that. Yeah, sometimes it's just like that. Like that's not happening.
All right, so when the head is better with a man. All right, I got it.
Better with a man. Head is definitely better with a man. And I have never had a woman like eat my ass, but
that would be amazing.
I've never had a woman eat my ass. But yeah, guys.
She don't do that.
Okay. So we talked about a man's penis smelling, having this stench. Tell us about that.
Smegma.
What's the term?
Smegma.
So smegma
is the uncircumcised penis that has unfortunately not been cleaned properly, and it will give off a very, very bad smell. And honestly, it will lead to bacterial infections in women as well when it's not cleaned properly. So that's something that you definitely need to make sure is if he's uncut, which is fine. Like I don't mind uncut, to be honest with you, but if it is,
Lemonade, why you look like that?
Full of that.
Oh yeah, you gotta get it good.
Look like cottage cheese.
Yes, and you sometimes you see it, but most of the time you'll just smell it. Yeah, it'll.
KiKi said no.
Oh my goodness.
It'll look like crumbled blue cheese. Like that's what it'll look like.
Oh my goodness. So listen, I've taken a fellatio class, right? I have a good girlfriend who teaches it. And
where's class at?
Huh?
And who's teaching it? And I want to see who's teaching it.
All right, I'll share the information. But she takes her show on the road. It's very good. Rates on a live model. And yeah, it's a whole little vibe. Like maybe we'll have to have our class with y'all and us, my girls, you know. I had to set that up. But yeah, she teaches it on a live model and she talks about this magical area on a man that will just get him to come in like 3 minutes, the gooch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Help a sister out with the gooch area.
Well,
so I'm not particularly sensitive in that area, but I know what she's talking about. It's the area between
the nuts and
the
the
nuts and the ass. That for me doesn't do anything for me. I'm more of I need you to concentrate to the I need you to concentrate on the under part of the tip of the penis for me. Yeah.
So you can do that, but what happens is that part presses on the prostate.
Yeah.
And so if you press that area when they're like about to ejaculate, you'll get an explosion.
Yeah.
Watch your eyes.
Watch your eyes. Watch your eyes. But
or just open your throat.
Yeah.
Baby.
But yeah, I never get anything from that little part. Yeah.
Okay, from that part. So do you like the firmness, Mr. Lemonade, or do you like it to be licked, or what is help me out, because I need to listen. I'm single. I'm open to dating now. I got both of my Pfizer shots. A bitch will mask up and take it on down. Okay.
So what was the question?
The question is, what am I supposed to like? Hit it like apply pressure to the gooch. The gooch.
So you can do. So it's kind of like just like when you're doing on the shaft, just take your thumb and kind of like press that area. Like on the tape, it's called the tape. It's called the tape area.
So wait, if we're in between the balls and the anus.
So she could even take her other thumb or do this.
Where's the thumb?
Her other on the tape. Oh. So if you're doing this, like you probably can't do it when you're doing this, but like take your other thumb and like if he says he's about to nut or whatever, like press on that and literally it's going to be an explosion.
Okay.
So you don't have to necessarily do it while he's getting.
It's called the who? Perineum. It's called the perineum, is what I'm hearing.
The perineum. Okay.
Perineum.
We have Dr. Sanjay.
Yeah.
Yes, doctor.
Never heard of that.
Okay. And so, Mr. Robot, for you, it is that little area under the little split, under the.
If you stay on that little part right there,
that is sensitive.
So wait a minute, am I holding it or am I like licking it fast? What am I doing?
You're licking it and sucking it at the same time. You're licking it and sucking it. Yep, you're licking it and kind of stroking it. And yeah, it's going down.
Really?
Down, yeah.
Oh shit, y'all might get a bitch down the aisle again. I'm telling you.
Listen, it's going down. I might take you to the Prada store and get you a bag or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm here for all of that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, now here's another question.
Okay.
Excuse my ignorance, but I have to ask. I don't know whether it came from me or someone else, but I thought it was a damn good question. Can you help me with this? There are men who claim they are straight, but like to cross-dress. I'm confused.
I would assume that.
So that's what you call it's a fetish, right?
Yeah,
that's what I was
gonna say.
It's more of a fetish versus like I'm not going to go out and have sex with another man. Yeah, but like I like the appearance of having on with his clothes,
the feeling,
whatever it is. There are straight men who wear their wives' panties to a board meeting.
It's like white. That's like white guys. Like I don't know any black guys that do that whatsoever. Yeah. Like I have zero experience in that. I mean, I have heard of gay guys who actually like to wear panties and stuff like that, but I haven't.
I think it's more of a fetish versus more of a sexuality.
Yeah, I would assume it's just something that is kind of like that feels good to them, but it doesn't have anything to do with who they want to have sex with.
But it also can also transform into something different, because if some people like Caitlyn Jenner actually used to cross dress in
Yeah.
secret.
I don't know what that
No.
is.
He used to cross dress in secret because he liked it. He liked that it felt good. He still is dating women, or he'll date trans women.
But
like
I guess in that example, like my only problem is that he's doing all of this, like he wants to be a part of the LGBTQ community
because
and stuff like that.
Because well, now he's fully transgender, which is part of that community. Yeah, LGBT transgender.
Oh, because he anyway, he bothers me. So anyway,
but it started off. But I think it started off with him as a fetish of liking to put on women's clothes in secret. And
but I don't know if that's the.
So but I think he started to like it, and he started to like how he looked. And then sometimes you can conform. You feel like you become more feminine, and you want to transform into a woman, and that's what he
You're
did.
scared KiKi. I don't know about that one because that.
No, it's not scaring anybody, but like that's what it is. So there's a lot of intersectionality when it comes to the LGBT community, and people don't understand the difference in.
But I kind of have a problem with that because I feel like, at least in that example, like you're trying to garner this support from the LGBTQ community. But he ended up identifying as transgender, and they are part of that community. But I think, but this isn't an example that KiKi's talking about. She's talking about straight men.
Oh no! Yeah. I gave him as an example because I think it started off as a fetish.
Right, and he answered the question. He said that it started out as a fetish. And
a
lot of fetishes that might be weird to us. People are just into. Tell me this. We talked about it being easier in the bedroom with a woman because you kind of know the role, but then when you're in the bedroom with a man, I've heard these terms of top, bottom, switch, versatile, all of that. How do you have a conversation like, nah, nigga, it's my turn, or like, how does it go down? Come on, Lemonade, am I too much for you?
Is it my turn? How did the conversation go? This conversation.
So a lot of times people will ask that question, and I think it's a really cheesy question to ask, to be honest with you, because at least in my opinion, and I get that people have their preferences of what they like and what they don't like, but I'll be honest with you, like if I meet a guy and I like him, it's really just about pleasing him. It's really about what needs to be done to please him. And I've been on both ends of the spectrum. Like I don't have a problem with that. Like I'm honest enough to say that. But at the same time, there have been some awkward times when you get into the bedroom and it's like, who gonna do who? What's gonna happen? What's going on? And yeah, you know what I mean? Like you get there, like the legs are wide open. It's like, oh, I didn't know. I thought it was something else. But back to the topic of the podcast right now. I'm willing to do whatever it needs to be done to satisfy my dude. You know, that's just something that I have never had a problem with. Now there are some people where I'm just like, yeah, you ain't doing that. It's just not. You don't even. It's not happening.
You came in with a whole Prada bag.
On my back. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he can't hold a Prada bag. How you gonna hold my back?
No, I love it. I said you're not gonna have a whole Prada bag. Come in here with a Prada bag and climb my back. Like that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean it's really about just sexual preference. It's really about just sexual preference, like what what you're attracted to in that person, and it's in the gay lifestyle. You kind of have to take it on a case by case basis. Unfortunately, like sometimes the roles are a little bit more defined, and sometimes they're just not. So I personally am willing to do what needs to be done. I ain't got a problem with it. Mm-hmm. Get down.
All right, we're coming down to the end. Producer lady, you have something for us?
Yes, we got a lot of chatter in the chat.
Thank you, damn Seamus. Hit the subscribe button.
Yes,
not fire emojis. If you like the shit you hear,
There's a lot of fire emojis in here, and then it was, kind of going back up a little bit. Nicole Jackson was like, she agreed with the fellas that, it's different. I've always perceived that it's more socially acceptable for men to explore their sexuality than women in general. So she agreed with that. Then we have a lot of people saying that honesty is all about honesty, about communication, telling the whole truth. You, Horsey, said that. Tori Knight, absolutely true. And someone says they've taken that class, and she got the throat goat.
Yes.
So she's
That
saying
class is nothing but the truth.
yes. And then somebody I think responded to one of your comments: watch your eyes or open your throat. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not mastered the whole swallowing thing.
So when you're giving head, you can do that like this too, and that kind of lets it. We talked about that, right?
I tried that shit. That shit ain't working for me.
You ain't doing right.
Open my throat. I got to hum on it. Like I got to hum on it, and then maybe I need to practice with like a cucumber. No, I got enough toys in practice.
Out.
I think it's
When
just
you're doing it, breathe out. That's all.
breathe out.
Breathe out. Yeah.
Asthma, okay.
And the other thing, I mean, the bottom line, this is really corny to say, but the bottom line is you just have to really be into who you're with. I mean, like,
that's it.
People have to stop forcing sex and thinking sex is going to be good when if you ain't really into the nigga, you ain't into him. I mean, that's just the bottom line. It's going to be whack, know? So, I tell women all the time, just take your time. You'll get there.
Take your time, do it right. All right, here's another question. I think this came from one of the DMs. I know this might be a stereotype and probably a little off the wall, but I have to ask. They said, why are most gay men, their houses like slayed, like laid, like OMG?
Why? Well,
Is it true, first of all? Is it a true theory?
Right. So
what he say in the back? Come to the screen.
Snickers.
Snicker. Oh, that's my favorite shit. Don't give me no Godivas. Get a girl Snicker. Oh, I like them chocolate too. Let me just get together. Okay. Ow, shit.
Ooh, Kenny. I mean,
I can add it.
Okay. What's up?
Hey, Mr. Chocolate. Thank you for joining us. So, is this stereotype, or is it really true? Like, what is the deal? Like, the shit just always is late. And I had to ask the question because I
love that question, actually.
One of the things that I look for when I go to a dude house for the first time, if the shit is like too immaculate, I'm like, nah, either a bitch live here or you got some deal.
He can't have some style. He can't have a clean house and some style. See? You get on my nerves, KiKi.
I know I do. Listen, it's a stereotype, but I do look because I have, gay male friends, and I'm like, that shit be late. Like, I go to them, like, what the fuck should I do in here? I'm getting ready to, get a new house. What should I? So I need y'all know how to put it all the way together. I love it. Sure. So it's not, y'all have heard this before. This isn't something that the damn shame is made up. Okay.
Well, I think the thing is that we don't really have anything else to spend our money on, but ourselves. We all drive nice vehicles. Our houses are nice. We go out and spend money on nice things because
we got no kids.
We don't have no kids.
We got our
kids, and because we're talking about experiences with other men, a lot of us are not in substantial relationships to invest our money into other people. So what we invest our money in is ourselves.
Y'all, the light bulb is coming on for me. Me. I hope it is for damn James, but that is a good point. Oh my goodness. I got one child. He'll be 22 in a couple of days, right? But I said, this motherfucker is too expensive. Like, when I saw him in the crib, I'm like, this in the daycare, I said, this is my 5 Series Mercedes. Like, shit, what did I do? I should have swapped those.
And it's weird because like a lot of major companies are getting hip to that because they're like, we need to make sure we're marketing to gay and the LGBTQ community because they got money.
They spend the most money. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, big, huge campaigns from all of these companies that are just saying, you know, hey, come spend money with us. We know you got it.
That is a light bulb.
Kids hit the floor and we go to the store.
Yeah, exactly.
What you say, babe?
I said our kids hit the floor and we go to the store.
Not our kids hit the floor.
Listen, I'm putting all my kids on the floor now. I'm selfish. Oh my goodness, that is a good ass point.
I mean, that's the truth.
Does the light bulb come on for you? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. I love everything about it.
Absolutely.
OMG. So yeah, that is a great point. And so yeah, I thought when I saw the question, I was like, God damn, I need to ask that. Are there anything that you would like to further educate the damn shame community on before we play this never have I ever game?
There's a game.
There's a game. Come on. We talked about, being open, being communicating, not, putting labels on people, loving yourselves and just being open to be the you that you are and comfortable. Mr. Snickers, how about this? Do you think that your family dynamics played a part in, you did you have trouble saying, hey, I'm here, I'm openly gay, this is who I am? Same with you, Mr. Lemonade.
I think that is an excellent question.
Thank you.
And the reason why is because your timing is impeccable. So I was just having a conversation with someone earlier about me being a late bloomer. And I've listened to, some subsequent conversations that you and Mr. Robot have had, and I didn't really explore my sexuality until later on in life. I was kind of in my mid-20s. Mm-hmm. And for me, my hesitation with really exploring my sexuality and becoming the person I am today is because I grew up in a really religious household where it was shunned upon, you know what I mean? And everybody that did, that was, same gender loving, they were in the choir, everyone sung. And so I felt like naturally that's what I kind of gravitated toward as a child. Mm-hmm. And no one was really there to cultivate my gift because it was just a gift. They didn't see the emotional attachment to it or the instability of the dynamic of just becoming a person because they just attached it to a gift, right? Mm-hmm. And so it created a hardness for me from a perspective where I developed this sense of ownership of myself and not really allowing people to define me.
Yeah.
And so when I got comfortable with that, then it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what I want to do because I'm grown and ain't nobody paying my bills and ain't nobody doing anything for me but judging me. And so if you want to know what I'm doing sexually, if it matters that much to you, this is what it is. Yeah. And so, my family does know. I don't think that they don't like it, but they have to accept it. And, for me, I know I'm not the quintessential person to ask questions like this in some regard, but I'm also one of those types of people where if you don't like it and you don't want to deal with me at all, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Some people have a really kismet relationship with their family and their family dynamic means everything to them. Mm-hmm. To me, my thing is a part of loving me is loving me in my totality. And so if one factor of me is something that you no longer condone or love, it's okay. But if you don't love me because of that and you want to dismiss me because of that, I'm also okay with that as well. You know what I mean? Because I think a part of growing up in a lifestyle is, where it's like you've been judged for who you care about, who you love. So you build this mental fortitude to the point where it's not really essential when people attach themselves to you, or they, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's why, you know, a lot of us, we call each other brother and friend, because we built this family outside of family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you'll find that most of your close friends are better than family.
They're better than family, yeah.
From, you know, being a plus size woman, I mean, it doesn't, you know, carry the you know, I'm in no way comparing the two, okay? But I'm just saying that we get judged. We damned if we do, we damned if we don't. But as long as we say, you know what, this is who I am, and I embrace who I am. And if you don't like it, that's shame on you. But I'm going to be my best self.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm here for it. I love your transparency. I think that it is important for us to have, continued conversations like this, especially for the younger ones that are coming up and they're unsure about their sexualities and what, you know, we don't want them killing themselves and feeling like they're going to be bullied and all of that. You know, no, fuck that. I am who I am. I like who I like. I love what I love. And that's just it. And I think that you all, you know, getting the message out, you know, doing your due diligence to have these kinds of conversations with more and more young Black people, it will, you know, help push it forward.
But you know, we were having this conversation as a collective earlier, you know, about children growing up and taking ownership of just who they are as people. And it's a conversation that Mr. Robot and I have had in times past. You know, I grew up with depression because of, you know, the whole having to figure it out and everything like that. And I think that, you know, the thought of suicide came into play because it was such a thing that was so egregious to other people, but it wasn't something that was egregious to me. I just didn't know how to deal with it. Yeah. And I think the one thing that I always thought about was, if I do it, who would it affect most? Mm-hmm. And it would affect my mom most because I knew that she loved me, even though she didn't know that part of me at that point in time. But I felt like it would be really selfish of me to terminate myself based on the opinions of other people. Absolutely. And so you have to allow yourself to, you know, when you're young, you're in this small box and you don't know a lot about the world. And I think sometimes kids and adolescents don't afford themselves the opportunity to just kind of grow up and deal with the scrapes on their knees and falling down and bruising themselves and then allowing themselves to heal. And I think the healing aspect of who we are as people is the most important thing. You know, like people say sticks and stones, you know, it is what it is, you know, but words don't hurt as much. And I think
they do, but
they do, but sometimes
they can, but we can't allow them to define us.
Right, absolutely.
We have to really, you know, stand up for ourselves and say, hey, I know who I am. And whether that's meditating or, you know, giving positive affirmations to ourselves and, you know, putting sticky notes up. This is who I am. Yeah. And it's okay.
And I did, you know, you said that, and I used to do that when I was
affirmations.
I would write sticky notes to myself.
I used to do that
when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, it just built a confidence that because you seen it on, like I would write it on my mirror on the sticky notes, and I had like 10 different, my top 10.
It actually used to make me angry. Because I used to write those same things, and it used to be like, why the fuck do I have to tell myself this? Like it was something that I feel in a certain way that my parents, my family should be instilling, like this level of confidence. Like it made me almost, it made me angry because I felt like, where's my family to help me
process what I'm feeling and help me process the fact that I'm just not so sure about what I am feeling and where I'm going and I'm going through maturity and puberty and all that kind of stuff, and I'm having these feelings. I feel certain things. I'm looking at guys and I was kind of looking for answers, and
Yeah, I was making these sticky notes and I was like pissed off because I'm like, why the fuck do I have to tell myself these things?
But did the sticky notes that you were making have anything to do with your sexual identity, or did it just have something to do with just character development?
It was me telling myself, you're not a fag.
Oh.
It was me telling myself,
So you were trying to put it away.
So,
I was trying to box it. I was trying to, you know what I mean? I was trying to, you know, I was telling myself these things, and I wasn't really getting from anybody that I am normal. You know, there's nothing wrong with me. You know, there's nothing. I deserve love just like everybody else.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's the different part we talk about, because we had the religious aspect.
Right.
And
see, I didn't have the religious
I also
aspect.
I have the religious aspect, but then I also have the masculine aspect. So I grew up in an adopted household where my father is Italian, and they don't show love. Everything's masculine. Everything's very mafia, if you will. And I have no recollection of my adopted father ever telling me I love you. And so on top of that, emotional withdrawal, and then the religious aspect of it, I didn't know what was okay and what was not okay. All I knew was like, don't you ever be gay because it's bad, this, that, and the other.
I always tell you what's not okay. I mean,
but it was.
I feel like
it was like 10 times. I don't know. I felt like it was.
I feel like that's always conveyed though. What's not okay. You know what I mean? Like I felt like from both of my parents were they were very into the street life, and I feel like they would have been happier had I gotten involved in the street life. I really didn't get any sort of accolades or any sort of congratulations. Like I got my real estate license, but that's that toxic masculinity that they feel like that you're supposed to live by.
But you know what I'm hearing from all of you is that it is a process. You know, you're going to experience some level of uncertainty. It's range of emotions through the whole process, right? And really coming into who we are. Hell, I'm 46 and it's still things that I'm learning about myself that anger me. You know what I mean? It angers me that, damn, why didn't I, get this dealt with? Why didn't anybody tell me? And so I just, I can't place I can't point the finger at they should have. I just have to continue to do self-reflection, help, because that is so very important. And whatever your lifestyle is, it's just important to help process some things that have happened, some trauma that we've experienced, and all of that. Because if it's not dealt with, then it grows up and it grows with us as we continue to grow up, and it's a damn shit.
Yeah, that's the
We'll become toxic people.
Into an adult. That's
yes.
Right.
Yeah, you become toxic. So I totally get it. Last question of the night. Do you want to have kids?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. I can help y'all out with it.
Hey. Now you want to help us. Now you want to help us. How we gonna do it?
Don't come for me, Mr. Lemonade.
How we gonna do it? We gonna do it naturally?
Hey, lemonade.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all got your glasses. Come on, quick. Never have I ever.
Oh, this is the game? You play the game?
Do it. Toast.
Yes. Okay. So if you've done it, you're going to sip a little something, okay? Going down the list real quickly. Cheated on an exam. Pulled a fire alarm. Oh, Mr. Snicker, you bad. Graffitied something.
Huh?
Written graffiti on something like a wall or a subway. Okay.
You grew up Italian, that's what they do.
Been engaged.
You been engaged?
I'm happily divorced.
Yeah.
Stalked someone. You know damn well, Mr. Robot, you better sip something, because last time You told me you stalked the bitch
As that we
page.
been stalked.
One of the benefits to the lifestyle is you can be very much on to the next one.
Yeah.
You a new one. You ain't got to chase after this one.
Period. I love it. Had sex on the beach. Y'all down in Aruba. Ow, ow. Okay.
Oh. I need to catch up.
Tossed a woman's salad.
A woman's toss?
Tossed a woman's salad. Okay. Fucked in the movie theater.
I never fucked
Me
in the
neither.
movie theater.
Is that when you pulled the fire alarm?
No. But I have gotten oral in the movie theater.
Given and received. Yeah. But
Okay. A part of the Mile High Club.
No.
Those bathrooms are too small for me.
You don't gotta do it in the bathroom.
Where you do that?
You can do it in your seat. The Mile High Club you were playing. You can do it in the back of the plane.
Snickers.
Doing what?
They will ban you from the airline as
That's
well.
okay.
That shit out.
Okay, you can't fly.
I'm not a member, but I know about it.
I'm going on vacation. Y'all, next one, I'm with y'all, okay? I don't give a fuck where it is. All right. Dressed up as a woman for your partner.
No.
Allowed a woman to peg you.
No.
Define.
You know what?
So I'm joking. No.
You about to knock her out of her chair.
Right. No.
Oh, look, that's all I have. I hope you all have enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
Those were easy questions.
Those are easy. Damn, I gotta try harder the next time. All right, so I don't know if you all know this, but Damn Shame Podcast has a ebook that is out. It's a drink recipe book. It's a contemporary guide to all your favorite drink recipe books. It's called Damn Shame Podcast on the Rocks. You can download it on Amazon and view it on your Amazon Kindle. The paperback book has finally gotten cleared, so they should be shipping soon.
I want my autographed copy.
Yes. So tell me this, do you all have any Black-owned businesses that you'd like to spotlight? They don't have to necessarily be yours.
Does anybody live in Baltimore? Water for Chocolate is the best restaurant in Baltimore.
I'm in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
Water for Chocolate.
Water for Chocolate. Okay, I'll have to look that up. All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Damn Shame Podcast. Y'all hit the subscribe button, thumbs up if you like what you heard tonight. This has been an amazing show. Thank you, Mr. Robot. Thank you, Mr. Lemonade. Thank you, Mr. Snickers Bar. Oh, listen, I'm going to travel with you all the next time.
Hey, we coming to see you again.
Right.
Yes, please do. Please, we gotta make
We can do a mukbang.
We can do a mukbang.
Mukbang. Let's do it. Consider it done. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thanks for having us.
Every week. If you can't be good, be great. Otherwise, it's a damn shame. There are no excuses. All right. Thank you for watching. Ow.